Hootin'. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the, I guess, not really a surprise episode because we didn't just decide 2 minutes ago to do this, even though we may look like it. Very sorry for our disheveled appearance. It's been a day. But we are ready to talk Lumberjack basketball. So welcome, everyone, to Pardon Me, Alex, the home of the only Lumberjack basketball podcast on the market, baby. And we are happy.
Very, very, very.
Very, very. Gotta love a home win, especially on somebody's birthday.
And against a team coached by Hooten makes it even.
Oh, so sweet. So sweet. Again, programming note, I don't dislike Hooten as a coach. He's a great coach. I think he's a great guy. He's just an absolute nutter.
And he was in full effect.
Oh, yeah. He showed up and showed out for sure on Tuesday night, for sure. But yeah, so some couple programming notes before we get started talking about the game. Obviously, like we mentioned, it was our sweet Jacqueline Noel Parton's birthday. She turned 22.
Feeling 22.
I don't know about you, but she's feeling 22. She's not 22, but we're just gonna go with that.
Wish I was.
Yeah. I mean, I'd believe it. I'd believe it. So yeah, it was Jacqueline's birthday. We had a great little day. Well, at least a good little pregame. We went to Nine Flags and had a couple pregame drinks and some snackies with myself and Jacqueline, and then she can tell you the rest there.
Yeah, it was fun. So it was, of course, me and Alex. We had my friend John Ruizo was in town. He came. Lonnie the Legend came.
Lonnie the Legend.
Carolette and Gary Lee came. So it was fun. We had a nice little time. Nine Flags always has great drinks and appetizers and food. Hey, Dennis.
Dennis, our friend.
We'll see you soon.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah, so great time celebrating Jacqueline's birthday prior to the game, exchanged our birthday/Christmas presents with each other and hung out and caught up and got to hear about Jacqueline's fun trip to New York City. And she had a great time traipsing and gypsy looing around New York City and in New Haven, Connecticut. So she did that. I went and got a new tattoo, which you can't see it because it's covered up because I'm cold. But don't worry, if you've seen my social media, you've seen it. Yeah. And let's see what else. During the game, Amanda sat with us. Jackson wasn't there, which was wild because I don't think we've had a home game without our bestie Jackson yet. So that was kind of weird. But yeah, so a lot was happening Tuesday. A lot was going on.
A lot. And I was tired. I'm still tired.
I'm tired.
The weekend and the game.
Yeah.
New York City at Christmas is absolutely magical. Loved it. We tried to go see the rock. Well, I mean, we did, but we went down and saw the tree at Rockefeller Center twice, and literally in all my travels all over the world, I don't know if I've ever seen that many humans just in one contained area in my life. Like they literally had the street, like all of the streets for like the full block around it, just completely blocked off to traffic because there were so many people they couldn't even fit to walk on the sidewalks. Like we were having to walk just in the middle of the street. It was wild. But it was a fun trip. That's a tale for another time because I could talk about it all day, but it was fun. I love Connecticut. I love New York City, and I haven't been in a long time. So it was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you had a great time and you looked beautiful in your pretty dress. And You had fun sightseeing and seeing things you haven't seen in a while. I've never been to New York. It's one of my bucket list things to go, just especially during Christmas time or the holidays. I don't need to go for a long period of time. I just want to go do a few historical things. Maybe, go see the Statue of Liberty, go see the World Trade Center, go to the Rockefeller Center, go see a couple other things. Other than that, though, but yeah, very cool. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. Nice
Fantastic.
little birthday weekend away.
You did have a nice little birthday weekend away, for
Yeah.
sure. I agree.
Birthday win. So let's get into it.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we finally got a freaking W at home.
I know. It's the first one since our season opener at home.
I know. Thank God. We needed this. We needed this desperately.
We certainly did. Okay, so a few little notes on general history and background. So as we already mentioned, this is the first season that Coach Hooten from Sam Houston is at New Mexico State. So there's one familiar face, another familiar face that we actually like a lot better.
Yeah.
JJP is on their team now. He's their guard. And if y'all remember, New Mexico State was in the WAC with us. They're now in Conference USA. So this was a nice little non-conference matchup. Going into this game, our background history with them, we had 2 wins and 2 losses going to this game. Our last matchup, we lost 73-67 in Las Cruces, February of this year, whenever they still used to be in our conference.
Well, and it's wild that, that Sam Houston and New Mexico obviously are no longer in our conference, but at the same time, it kind of brings us to this really, oh, excuse me, I'm dying. Really intense kind of out of conference rivalry-ish that we're building with New Mexico. I feel, especially with Hooten now behind the helm, at New Mexico State, I really do think that may build something there. And then, if JJP stays there, Jalen Jackson Posey, who, again, like Jacqueline mentioned, is on their team now and we love so much. And we're so happy to see him. We actually stayed after the freaking game for 15, 20 minutes plus waiting for him to come out the tunnel because he kind of made a gesture to us oh, I'll be back out, I'm coming, kind of a thing, to say hi to us and a few other people that were there to see him. So it's just, I really do, and I'm glad that we're still able to play them, even though now with Hooten at the helm and JJP there, it's kind of a bittersweet type feeling, but it's kind of cool though still at the same time. So I really I really enjoyed this game. I knew it was going to be a barn burner, so to speak, because the Aggies have been struggling kind of like us in the wins losses department. So I felt like this was going to be a game where both teams had something to prove, had something to, basically had something to show their fan base that they could produce and do. And of course, JJP coming home back to the Sawmill, where he played for a couple seasons, it's an emotional time too. So what a game.
And I'm going to say, they, like you said, they've gotten off to a rough start this season, but considering all the factors, it's really not that bad. I think you're going to be good here in a few years because, they changed conferences, got a new head coach, and after all of their issues, we'll say, they literally don't have one player on that team this year who was a returning player. It's a completely fresh bunch. So
yeah,
that's a lot. It is.
And also too, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm sure Kyle, if he's listening, he can correct me on, I think that a couple of the players that are on this team currently also came from Sam Houston as well. So I think we also saw a couple, I wouldn't say friendly faces is the term, but Familiar faces. Yes. So yeah, just really back and forth, highly competitive game on both ends of the ball. And of course, that always leads to a highly stressful game for everybody in attendance, including the team. So, Jacqueline, why don't we just hop right into it?
All right. Okay. So our starting lineup this game, we had Trell, AJ, Matt, Clayton, and Jalil. We did win 75-72. The attendance was 1,710. Did you want to go over the wax?
Yeah, totally missed that. My bad. Yeah, no, we're good. So Grand Canyon's still at the top. They are just absolutely on a tear this season. They are 10-1 overall. I don't have words, honestly, for them. So I'm just going to keep going. The other teams that are 2-0 in WAC conference, and obviously apart from Grand Canyon, are Tarleton State and Utah Tech. Then we have California Baptist, Seattle U, UT Arlington, us, and Utah Valley, both at 1-1 in conference. So not too much of a shakeup on the conference side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're a 7th place on that end on the regular standings. And then when it comes to the WAC tournament seating, this was updated on the 18th. So actually a day before our game. So it hasn't been much of a change. We were at 7, now we're at 6. So not too big of a shakeup there.
Once they redo it, counting this game, we should be maybe one more higher.
I think potentially so. Just depends on what they give us points wise for that game on Tuesday. And the only thing is we're about 50 points, like points behind the next person ahead of us, which is Utah Valley, because they're at negative 0.15 and we're at negative 0.60. So it would have to be a substantial amount of points in order to jump them. And I don't know if Utah Valley, whoever they played, if they won or not. So that's also something to consider. Let me check really quickly. Actually, they lost. So they lost to Liberty, which depending on how they score Liberty in the point, again, it all depends on the dang how who they play. Is it at home? And it was at home. So losing at home to Liberty, they may get dinged a bit for that one.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. There's always a chance. Yes. Okay, so go, but yeah, continue on with
all right, so Sean Kennedy's stat section. Overall, not super great on some of these. I mean, I'm not gonna give a major grievance, but a lot of these could have been better.
Yeah, not great.
Field goal percentage, we were at 33.9. 3-point percentage, we were at 29.2, which is that's acceptable. Free throw 65.1, just not super great. I feel like almost every time except for Nana only missed one, but almost everyone else who went up for a free throw made one, missed one. And it's like, Dad and I were talking about it after the game, and we were like, I was like, we had a substantial lead and then it went nowhere. And he's like, yeah, well, in the second half, it got to where it was like trading fouls for fouls. And almost every time they were making both, we were only making one. Slowly chips away. Anyway, I digress. Points in the paint was rather low at 26. Points off turnovers, we had 20. Second chance points, we had 17. Fast break points, 19. As always, consistent with the bench points at 40. I'm happy about. We really went to the boards this game. We out-rebounded them by 10. We had 45 total rebounds, 19 offensive and 26 defensive. We had 19 fouls, which again was good for us. They had 28. We only had 14 turnovers, not not bad. They only had 16, so I mean they took care of the ball pretty well too. But we did have 12 steals. We had 0 blocks. Our game leaders, so we had Nana with a double-double. He had 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 steal. We had Latrell with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. AJ and Jelani both had 11 points. AJ had 7 rebounds and 2 assists, and Jelani had 3 rebounds and 1 steal.
Nana was on another level on Tuesday night, and I'm not mad about it at all. Clearly, very, very proud of his play on Tuesday night. He really stepped up.
Nana played amazing. So I'll let that carry into Nana. I think he got the Pilgrims Pride Player of the Game. I'm pretty sure. Definitely the game. The double-double was amazing. He had several different dunks that were awesome. I'll save more of my notes on that for the feats of strength. But yeah, he played great.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'll go with here. Okay, I'm gonna backtrack for a second. You went with Nada. He got Player of the Game. Pilgrim's Pride Player of the Game. He was the Player of the Game for sure. But I want to give someone else some due and some flowers because this individual, this guy, has been steadily increasing his playing time. He's been getting better and better. So I want to give a little shout out to Jelani. I think he really came alive this game. He was playing awesome. He had some great minutes. He played for 21 minutes. He had 11 points as well. He had 3 rebounds. He had a little bit of foul trouble, but that's all right. He came up with a steal. Almost perfect on free throws, missed a couple, and he was 4 out of 6 on his field goals. I think he did he had a great game. That was probably the best game that we've seen Jelani have. So I want to give Jelani some flowers. He's my underdog of the game. Should do an underdog of the game, by the way. No, yeah. So obviously Nana for sure kicked ass, but I do want to give Jelani some love because I do think that he had a really good game.
That was definitely his best game this season. He played great too. Yeah, we'll have plenty of notes on that. So let's go on into the feats of strength.
Boy, I got a whole list.
Yeah, I got a lot. So I mean, our 3-point average was it wasn't great, but it was good. But we had several players who made some big 3-pointers. We had AJ with 2 big ones. Trell with 2 big ones, Nana with 2, one right at halftime, and then one in the second half. Frank had a 3.
I think Matt had one as well, didn't he?
I do not know. I don't have.
Oh, I wrote Matt with a big 3. Maybe I meant something else. I was furiously typing notes, so maybe I meant something else. I don't know. Anyway, you get the point.
Yeah, we had a bunch of guys with some great 3s. I was super happy with that. Matt, as always, we've been talking about how great he's been playing lately, and it's not always on the points end, but it's all over on defense, giving assists, everything. So he had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals and 4 points.
Speaking of
everything.
Exactly. Going back to that assist category, Matt having 4. Look who else had 4. Frank Stain.
Frank played great also.
Frank, babe. I love to see it. Love to see it.
I had several great notes on both of them. Matt had a great steal and a dunk. Like I said, he's just always playing great on D. He had
that's what I meant. Matt with a big dunk.
Damn it. He had a great assist to Nana for a dunk.
He did.
A great assist to Frank. And then, yeah, Frank, let's see. He had the great 3 I already mentioned. He had a great little Euro step move that he scored off of. He had a great assist to Jelani.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome on both of them. So one of my other notes on Nana being the player of the game. He had a massive dunk at the end that he got an and one on. That was.
He did. I loved Nana's play. Yeah, he got fed from Matt and got the dunk. Boom. It was a great move to the basket. Another thing about Nana, here's the thing about Nana too, is that in the first half, his threes weren't going down. He missed a couple in the first half, and then the second half, he got a little bit more comfortable with the long ball, and because we know he could shoot it, we've seen it before, so we know he has it in him, and he was able to sink a couple there in the second half, which I was really happy to see. Especially one of them coming at the very end of the first half, a little bit of a buzzer beater there. Great juice going into the halftime and then coming out and just kind of like continuing on with the lead there. So gotta love that.
Totally agree. I do want to give one quick shout out to AJ. I know we already mentioned him on the game leaders, but I feel like he is always pulling down a wild amount of rebounds for like the smallest player that we have. 7 rebounds.
Agreed.
He is always right there under the bucket, grabbing it whenever, people aren't blocking out or whatever and fumble it. He's right there getting in the mix. I love it. Love to see it.
I agree. Also, another person with a lot of rebounds, Clayton. He played 15 minutes, had 5 rebounds, 4 points. I think this was also one of Clayton's best games as well.
I agree. And another player we got to give a shout out to, and I actually, when I was rewatching the game, I messaged his mom on Instagram, Miles, because when we got back from the Caymans, I told Dad, I said, Miles is going to be good. We only got to see him for a few seconds, but he's going to be good. When you see him, you're going to be impressed. Last night after the game, when I went by my parents to get Gabby, I mean, he was just going on and on about how great Miles is and Miles this, Miles that. And I'm like, I told you.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that too, because whenever Miles did go in, I sent a little video of him going in to his mom, and just we're so excited for Miles. I mean, and just so happy to see him getting more minutes here and there, coming off being injured for a while, having a concussion and all those things. And so just really happy to see him getting minutes and feeling more comfortable. I mean, obviously he's feeling better. That boy, spin, layup, boom, got fouled. I mean, totally putting his body on the line for a layup, got fouled. Love to see it. And then he also took a dive trying to get a loose ball on the other end of the court in the second half. And so obviously he's feeling better. He's feeling better. He's ready to get out there, get minutes, and help the team. And I just watching him hit that spin and layup was magic. Like, he is so athletic. It's not even funny.
He really is. And he's very strong too. So
very strong and fast.
He is fast. So yeah, last night, he only played 8 minutes. He had that and one. He had 4 rebounds and he had a steal.
He's all over the place.
Amazing. Okay, I also have one note on CC. CC's also always in the mix on defense, and he got a great deflection off of an inbounds, and then it set Trell right up for the fast break layup. So that was.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I wrote CC defense, like all capital letters. And I know here's the thing. And CC, again, I don't know if you're listening, but if you are, listen up and listen good. Stop being hard on yourself. Because he even said this after one of the home games. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'll play better next time. Like, but you're not going to have the perfect game every game. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You can't be that hard on yourself. Be mad, be upset, be like, you know what? I didn't do great. I'm going to do better next time, and then just move on. But you can't beat yourself up and then get in your head, because that's not great. Don't get in your head. Just be like, all right, didn't do it. And it's not like you didn't do badly. Just the minutes you were playing, you didn't score much or do, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't because you physically, you yourself were causing turnovers or struggle. It wasn't necessarily that. It was just low score.
No, I completely agree. Another one of our guys who's super hard on himself all the time is, well, two, but the one I was
All the
good
time.
is Trell.
Yes.
Because when I was rewatching the game today, he tried to make a really good pass, and they were just playing kind of defense that we do, and they picked it off, and you could immediately tell how mad at himself he was. And I'm sitting here watching the game back. It's not like he can hear me, and I'm like, it's okay, Trell, it's all right.
Well, I do that too, though. I do that too when I'm watching the game back too. I'm just like, I'm telling them things, and I'm like, oh, they can't hear me. I mean, and I don't even know if they hear me or listen to me or listen to us during the game. Although I will say, Ethan did said that we were super quiet on Tuesday night. I'm like, yeah, because y'all were winning, and there was not much we had to yell about.
And then they weren't, and I was like,
yeah, you were up by freaking 15, babe, and then you. Anyway, that's for the second half of this. Now let's see. Talked about Juice's threes. Talked about Nana. Let's see what else here. Talked about another feed from Matt to Frank for the bucket. Another thing about Frank with his defense. I mean, Frank got the game-winning, basically ceiling steal at the end of the game. So just another great moment from Frank. Another heads-up basketball play and situation. Got into the passing lane, got the steal, and immediately got the win. So love to see that. Jelani, I already mentioned him, but I just want to mention the fact that he was fighting so hard down there under the paint, using his body, using his strength down there, fighting, even got his own put back a couple times, got the rebound and put it back in. And I love to see that. I love to see that no give up attitude and mentality, especially under the bucket down there from him and from any of the guys. But especially the new guys, you know what I mean? Like, woo! Love to see it.
I know. I made a note on Jelani. I forgot to say, but Tess says yes, AJ. Jelani had a great and one. I forgot to mention that. And then I put in all caps. Jelani Stone is a brick wall.
He is. He bodied someone so badly. I mean, got the foul. I mean, he fouled him, but he bodied the absolute shit out of
foul on the one I'm talking about, because there was one, because Dad and I were talking about afterwards. He just jumped straight up to defend. Well, the guy jumped forward and bumped into him and just like ricocheted off. And they didn't call a foul. And Dad was like, I was really glad that they didn't call a foul, because it wasn't. You're entitled to the space straight up. If you go straight up and they initiate contact, then that's
And that's crazy, because when that happened on the other side of the court or whatever it was, they did call a foul. So there was one time where they called a foul, another time when they didn't. I was like, again, continuity here.
Yeah, it's always going to be.
It's always going to be that way, and I get that, but it is funny that he literally is a brick wall.
I mean, that dude just bounced right off.
He was like a freaking rubber band, like bing. It was great, absolutely fantastic. Oh Lord!
You have any more?
I just want to say that I'm very proud of those rebound stats. Love to see 45 rebounds. Love to see that. Also, with the bench points being at 40, I mean, to be expected. I mean, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people suited up and playing. So, I mean, we had more than that suited up, but we had 12 people playing. Love to see it. Love to see it. Last little note. I don't know how many double-doubles Nana has had in his career. So I just want to reiterate the fact that Nana played like an absolute dog on Tuesday night. Yeah. And if you're a big fan of Nana or a big fan of just hometown kid showing up and showing out and playing his heart out, really come out and support the Jacks tomorrow night.
Tomorrow afternoon. It's a 1.
That's right. It's an afternoon game. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. These guys are out here playing their hearts out day in and day out. Same thing with the ladies. If you haven't come out to a game, I mean, what are you doing? That's all I have to say about that. But we can move on.
Agreed. Okay, so I do just have to throw in one last little feat of strength on JJP because he did have two really good moves during the game that I have to mention. And we always say this, even if our guys leave us, once a lumberjack, always a lumberjack. We're we're sad, but we're not gonna be mad at you. And we went down. After the game, I yelled at him when they were coming through the line, and so he turned around and kind of motioned like I'll be back because I'm sure Hooten wanted to chew their ass out, but I digress. So we waited and he came back out. So we got to talk to him, and Alex and I were just like, hey, are you enjoying it? And he said, I love it, but I loved wearing purple too. And we were like, well, we miss you, but we're glad you're happy. And
that's all that matters is his happiness, honestly.
And he said, just don't say anything too bad about me on the podcast. And
he did say that. He said my dudes, my girls. I'm like, I love you, but we're not going to say anything bad about you.
We let him know. We said we've already mentioned that we're playing y'all tonight, and we hope that we got to see you and give you a hug afterwards. All good vibes here. So, in that spirit, let me give him his two accolades because he had two top 10 moves during this game. So he had a great, and it's not fun seeing him do it when he's in a different jersey, but
no, not at all.
It's still good. He had a great between the legs step back and three.
Yeah, he did.
That was beautiful. And then he had a beautiful little drive in where I can't even remember who, but someone stepped up to guard him, and he made a behind the back pass to his dude on the 3-point line for a three. It was.
Yeah, I will say, going and looking at JJP's stats, he had 6 assists, only 3 points, which was the 1 3-pointer he shot. Which if I jump ahead to my quick keys to the win, I love you, JJP, but I think one of the keys to the win was keeping his points down. Because we know how good of a shooter you are, and we know how good you are. The fact that you only hit one shot and it was a 3-pointer and that was all you had. Thank you. I mean, that's good job to our defense for shutting you down. And so.
But unfortunately for him, that was a strength for us because
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Pretty much all the guys on our team who were guarding him during the game have played with him before and scrimmaged with him in practice, and they all know what his strengths and weaknesses and tendencies and all that are. So, I mean, that was a built-in scouting report right there.
Pretty much. Absolutely.
All righty. Do you want me to play the
Yepper?
I forgot to pull it up. All right. Hold on, everyone, because we only got 2 more days until this day is here, but hold on.
We could just say it.
All righty.
With the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it. You.
All right.
2 days till Festivus, everyone.
Hi. 2 days till Festivus. Okay. First grievance I have is I just don't understand what the deal is with that basketball and that basket. Like, why in the ever-loving God can we not just make the initial shot? And it's right there. We rims around. It just literally, it looks like the perfect shot. It's a layup. It's right there. It just goes bloop, bloop. I don't understand, but at least tonight we were better with the offensive rebound, getting it back. So I will say, yes, that's a positive, but my grievance is still with the basket and the ball. I don't understand with the initial shot. It's not like we are mechanically doing anything wrong. I don't think from my perspective, it's just not going in, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, my literal first note was gotta make more of those shots right at the bucket.
They're right there. They're right there.
They at the bucket.
Yeah.
The other scoring issue that I already mentioned, almost every time we went up to the free throw line, we were making one of two. And we gotta make those because that's how these teams can start creeping back in at the end. And it answers my question: where'd our 17-point lead go?
Absolutely. I literally
free throws.
I literally put the time. Had a 15-point lead at the 15-minute mark in the second half. Pooped it away. At 12:17, had another 15-point lead. Pooped it away. Like, we had substantial leads up to 17 points at one point.
Yeah.
And then just struggle bus. And here's the thing too. Like, the free throws, 24 to 43. We had 43 opportunities.
Yeah, we shot almost twice as many free throws as them.
Like, we should have blown their ass out of the water. But no, 75-72. Like, we got it. That's one of my questions I wrote down in my question section. Like, that is one of my main questions. Like, free throws. I need to understand the struggle. Like, somebody somewhere out there tell me who's smarter than me when it comes to basketball mechanics. What is the struggle? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I can't explain it for you. There are just a lot of players who struggle with free throws.
But it seems like almost all of our guys, except for Nana, really, who's been struggling with the free throws.
I think a lot of times it's more mental than anything.
Of course.
When you're in the flow of the game, it's more natural. And then a free throw, like, you're standing there, you're set up, you're not guarded, everyone's watching you, and it's straight on to the bucket. And so if you don't get the spin just right, it's gonna bounce back out.
I know.
We gotta figure out what the secret sauce is to get that a little bit higher, because it's free, baby.
It's free, baby is right. A couple other things I've noted. Just, it wasn't as bad tonight. Obviously, our turnover percentage or our statistic wasn't as bad as it normally is. We only had 14 compared to their 16. I know it's not a big difference, but anytime we have less turnovers than they do, good in my book. But just some of the minor unforced turnovers, like, for example, just passes out of bounds, picked off in the passing lane, just stuff that it's not like you're getting pickpocketed or something, or it's just the small stuff, man. The small stuff with the turnovers. The backdoor lobs twice. Kill me now. Hate that so much. Like, I hate watching it back. Saw it in person, hated it. Watched it back, double hate. Loathe entirely. To quote the Grinch. Also, one of your biggest issues and biggest grievances, I'm sure you wrote it down multiple times in your notes, box out.
Yeah, and listen, I'm over the moon thrilled that we had 45 rebounds, but I'm just telling y'all, if we would have blocked out every time, we would have had like 55.
I was going to say, like, double that. Yeah, something.
And it's just easier to ensure getting a rebound if you block the guy on the other team from getting it. It helps. It helps. And I was yelling it a lot the first half. I know I was.
A lot.
Because they were not doing it. Like, we might have been getting numbers in the rebound column, but it was just because we were lucky to have someone snatch it up. It wasn't because we were proactively blocking their players from getting it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was kind of annoying a little bit with the foul situation, especially with the no calls. CeCe gets hit in the face, nada. Clayton gets hit in the face, nada. At least when Trell got junk punched intentionally, number 11 got tossed out of the game for that.
But I still don't know. If that was for the foul or if it was for something he said, like, when they were huddling. Like, that's still very unclear to me. What happened.
Yeah, and they don't explain it. So
and even when I watched it back, I mean, they didn't really
No, and watching it back, like obviously it's clear that he does get hit in the junk, but like, was it intentional? I don't know.
And when I watched it back, it didn't look super intentional. I mean,
it didn't, but at the same time, unless they saw something we didn't when they slowed it down.
Well, that's why I'm wondering if he said something, because I just don't feel like that would have been enough to get him ejected completely.
Yeah, because I mean, it's one thing to like give a personal foul or a flagrant.
I feel like they would have given him like a flagrant one or something.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's what I'm saying. I was really shocked when they actually tossed him out of the game.
Well,
and then the announcers our guys are talking about like, oh, well, maybe they would thought that originally it was going to go to Hooten for coming over to him, over to Trell. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. No.
Well, I mean, Hooten did get attacked, but it wasn't for that.
It wasn't for that. And here's the thing. Hooten's not that kind of coach.
No.
Him and Kyle are too good of friends for him to, walk up to one of our players and do or say something to him.
Right. No, he's saving all of that energy for the refs. He's not going after our players.
No, exactly. Exactly. That was never even a freaking issue. He would never do that to one of his players or one of our players. All the things I've said about Hooten over the years, like I know for a fact he was going to check on Trell. He was not doing anything nefarious or mischievous or degrading. Promise that.
I agree completely. I will say he should have gotten 2 techs.
He should have gotten 2 techs. I agree.
And he should have gotten tossed because
but
egregious. And Dad said the same thing. He was like, I wouldn't have been able to stand reffing for him. Like he should have got tossed.
God bless. Again, so that anyone who had never seen Jason Hooten before, he was in absolute tip-top like conference form right there. That's nothing new for us. Like we've seen Hooten in his craziest moments. And so that's nothing new. So you're welcome for those who that was your first time experiencing old Jason Hooten over there. So enjoy that because it's not going to happen obviously very often because we don't see them very often. But
I mean, his facial expression and our motions and just all of his wild antics are crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Gary Lee also said that he should have gotten tossed. Well, with Gary Lee says it, then damn it should have happened. Yeah, no. Another thing too, not anyone in particular, I guess just an overall comment. Kind of going back to what I was saying about CC getting frustrated with himself. It doesn't, I guess driving me nuts isn't the right term, but it makes me sad and it irritates me that sometimes these guys like don't stick to their game and what they know how to do well. Like they try to do too much, like they're overplaying. And I'm just like, they need to just stick to what they know how to do. Like Day, just stick under the basket. You'll get there. I promise. Just do what you normally do. Play like a fiend under the basket. Use your body, use your strength, and do your little hook shots. Boom. Do your little spin moves. Hook. You'll get there. Okay. You may be frustrated now. Same thing with CC. Had a couple games where it's been iffy, but it's just a small little blip in the radar. It's not the end of the world, I promise. So just throwing that out there to everybody. Just keep on trucking, keep on hustling. I'm grieving saying about that because it pisses me off that you get so irritated at yourselves. It's just a blip in the radar. Okay. Yeah. I wish someone would guard the 3 though.
Yeah. Though it seemed because whenever I was watching it back, I made the note 25 can make the 3, and it felt like he made a million. He actually only made 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
But it was 2 out of 4. My bad. But they were like right in a row. So it just felt like we were snoozing on it when we had just seen him do it. But their free throw, their 3-point percentage was pretty good. It was 40.
I mean, their shooting percentages in every category were better than ours.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny whenever that happens that you actually win the game.
It was a good 10% higher in every category.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's just really funny that we still won the game, albeit only by 3 points, but their shooting percentages were way better than ours in every category. But yet it was our defense that really came in and saved the day. Press you, baby.
We barely squeaked that one by, but I'm so glad that we did.
Other grievance, I talked about the wide open threes from the Aggies. God bless America, but that's going to happen with the defense we run. Foul trouble. We had some foul trouble, babies. We had Jaleel with 4, Jelani with 4, Frank with 4. I mean, Cece had 3, but we had 3 guys with 4 fouls, man. Whew. Can't be doing that.
I know.
Can't be doing that. Lord Jesus, help us all. But yeah, that's about all I had. Oh, another note too. If I know we talked about how Matt usually has, a better shooting game than that. I will say I think he was struggling with a little bit of an arm discomfort at some point during the game. So that may attribute to his lack of shooting, and just more sticking with the defense and the assists. So just kind of throwing that out there.
Yeah.
We saw him getting some icy hot on his arm and things like that. So he may just be having a little bit of discomfort. So I wouldn't freak out just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think there was an overabundance. We were talking about the refs. There was an overabundance of very aggressive hand checking.
Uh-huh.
Using the air quotes because it was not even hand checking. That I felt like they didn't call, but I will say out of that 3-man team of officials, that one we have quite often, and he's good.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 really weren't good at all. One of them was real bad. So I think there was just only so much that one guy could do to carry, carry the team literally. Because y'all know one of my grievances that I will make about a referee is if they're making calls outside of their little
zone,
just to make a point of trying to do it. But what's almost worse is when the lead official has to repeatedly make calls in your area because they're so egregiously obvious and you're not calling them that he has to step in and call them.
Yeah.
And you're going to turn around and be like, well, he called it. And it's like, that's not the point. The point is that the lead official shouldn't keep having to make a call that's right in front of your face because you're so blindly missing it.
Yeah, and that's what happened, I think, whenever specifically when Clayton got hit in the face. I mean, that's what Keller was literally on that white ref's ass from baseline to baseline. He was so mad. So mad. Anyway, my last grievance is not even game related. It's the fact that during breaks, obviously there's no pep band and it drives me bonkers. Can we not get a local high school? The high schools are still technically in session, and also they're local. They live here. Can we not get a local pep band to come play the games?
I know. I wish we could because, Richard Parton would be right on top of that idea because he's always so sad when the band is not there.
Well, Richard Parton, you tell your father to hop on it and to arrange something.
Start campaigning.
Arrange something. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I had.
Yeah, I'm good on my grievances as well.
All right. So one word to describe the entire game. I'm going to go with rebound. It was a rebound game. We had great rebounds on the stat sheet and also literally and metaphorically a good rebound game coming off of the loss. So I think this was a really good game for our mojo, good game for our confidence, playing a evenly matched New Mexico State Aggie team and coming out with a win at home during the break when there's not as many people here, and really proud of them for sticking to their Press U plan and coming out with the dub.
I could not agree more. I'm going to say my word is going to be celebrate. So we got to celebrate finally getting a home win. It was my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
All is right in the world. We beat Hooten. We beat New Mexico State. The only thing that could have made it better is if I got a hug from all the guys at the end of the game, which I put in my request with someone who I will not call out, and I guess either didn't pass it along. That's okay. Our usual guys who come over gave us hugs, but
we want everybody. We want everybody.
We want to hug.
We know, and you know who you are, Frank, Cece. I'm gonna start calling. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna start calling people out that don't come over and get a hug. Okay, so after the game, no matter what, you come over, you get a hug. Not hard. Takes 2 seconds. Everybody else does it. You could do it too.
We love giving y'all hugs, whether you win or lose, because
exactly
you even more if you lost. So
no matter what. Oh my goodness. Okay, so to wrap things up here, tomorrow is our next home game at 1 p.m. Nice little afternoon tip off with the constant in our schedule, Paul Quinn. I feel like we play them every year.
I feel like we played them like the last 5 years in a row.
Yeah, I'm sure we have, actually, to be honest with you. So 1 p.m. tip off versus Paul Quinn. It'll be the last game until after Christmas. So come on up. It's a Friday afternoon, like 3 days before Christmas. What are you doing? You could take a 2-hour break from whatever the heck you're doing and come and watch the game. It's low cost, shouldn't take too long. It's going to be a quick one. No offense to Paul Quinn, but they're either NAIA team or a Division III.
I think they're NAIA.
Yeah. So it's going to be quick. It'll be a quick 2 hours. Boom, boom, done. So come on out to the Sawmill tomorrow at 1 p.m.
We may have a special guest with us tomorrow for the game, but I don't want to throw it out yet, because with him, you never know. You already know who I'm talking about.
Oh.
What's your guess?
I actually don't know. I have like 3 people in mind.
Well, Jose texted me this morning, and he was flying to Dallas, and
he's not coming.
He really wants to come to NAC, so we shall see.
If he comes to Nacogdoches, that'll save me on shipping. So if he comes to Nacogdoches, then I will be able to hand him his bottle of Stone Fort bourbon.
Well, I told him if he could get to Tyler tomorrow, he could ride with me, but I said, I'm leaving grass at 11 o'clock, so you better be here before then.
He's not coming.
We shall see.
He's not making it. Who God knows. Anyway, okay. So last reminders before we head out. Obviously, if you're looking for a last minute cool SFA themed Christmas gift, you got a couple options. You can either go to www.myplates.com/lumberjacks and order a My Plate either for yourself for Christmas or for somebody else in your life who is a lumberjack lover. They have great deals, great plans, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans. And anytime you order a lumberjack plate, that half of that money goes directly to SFA Athletics. So it's a really Stephen F. awesome way to support your lumberjacks. And it's a really cool gift. I got my first My Plate many, many moons ago. I was like a sophomore at college SFA. And I got my first My Plate. And it was the coolest gift. I loved it. So make a Lumberjacks Christmas and get them a My Plate. Next, for other options that aren't license plates, if you need a last minute Christmas gift, I'm not sure it'll ship in time and get there by Christmas, but you can always order it and give it to them after Christmas. We have our store. And if you haven't looked on our store yet, we have a lot of options and items. We have anything from t-shirts to hoodies to sweaters to stockings to hats to toys to stickers to you name it, swag related. We have it. cool designs, great attire. And so consider shopping our store. Any money that is basically, profit for us, it goes to our budget for travel. So anything you guys purchase on there, like I said, the small amount of profit we get goes to our budget. We try to keep the prices as low as possible on the merch so that you guys aren't breaking banks and things like that. But that also means that our profit margin is teeny. But again, we're not in it to be making hundreds and thousands of dollars. I mean, although that'd be great, but we do it so that people have fun, cool designs and t-shirts and swag and merch to wear to the games and such. So go ahead and hop on our store. You can get there by going to the links in our bio, and they're all sitting right there. Click on them and have fun shopping. And of course, lastly, just make sure you're following us on all social media, and we appreciate all of our supporters and followers. And we love you guys so much. We will try to get in the podcast from tomorrow before Christmas. Chances are maybe good, maybe not. It might be a Christmas Eve podcast, not sure. Just depends on our schedule and our family schedules. So we shall see. But we're excited for the game tomorrow. Should be a fun one. Should be a quick one. And hopefully it won't be too hot and we can wear a Christmas sweater or at least a Christmas shirt. We shall see. We shall see. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Hey, hold on now. Merry Christmas to you too, Brian and fam. We love you guys. Hope you all have a wonderful night. I got to go get dressed and head to the brewery for trivia night. So we will see you all later. And always remember to axe some jacks.
With Alex and Jax.